Hellmuth Mäder was a German general during World War II. He was also a recipient of the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves and swords. The Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross and its higher grade oak leaves and swords was awarded to recognize extreme battlefield bravery, a successful military leadership. Military career. A native of Rotorode, Hellmuth Mäder joined the army in 1936, and by September 1939 was serving as a junior officer with the 34th Infantry Division. In the spring of 1940, Oberleutnant Mäder commanded the 14th Company of the Infantry Regiment 522 in the newly formed 297. Infantry Division, which was not deployed in the Western Campaign. In late 1940 he was appointed commander of 3 Battalion, Infantry Regiment 522, and served in that post during the opening phase of Operation Barbarossa. His division fought under Army Group South, advancing on Kiev and Rostov, and for his gallantry during the defensive action of winter 1941–1942. Mäder was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross on April 3, 1942. In July 1942 he was promoted to Major and took command of Infantry Regiment 522, which distinguished itself during 6 Army's drive to the Don, fighting at Kharkiv, the Izium pocket and Voronezh. Promoted to Oberstleutnant, Mäder led his regiment into Stalingrad, where it was cut off with the rest of the 6th Army. Mäder led battle groups of his regiment and others during the defensive fighting of December 1942 and January 1943. A serious wound led to his evacuation by air before the final collapse of the 6th Army at Stalingrad. While recovering from his wounds, Mäder was placed on the Führer Reserve until early 1944. Promoted to Oberst, he was given command of the RRskaReb Brigade Narwa and returned to the northern sector of the Eastern Front. Here he was successful in halting a number of localized Soviet attacks before being severely wounded once more. This time, on recovery from his wounds, he was appointed commander of the Heeresgruppen Waffenschule Nord, a weapons training establishment. When the Soviets launched the 1944 summer offensives, he returned to the front, having responsibility for organizing the defense of a vital railway junction at Silerai, between Königsberg and Riga. He held it open under heavy attack for 2 days, allowing retreating German units to pass safely through. For this achievement he was awarded the Oak Leaves on August 27, 1944. He also helped to organize the Lithuanian Fatherland Defense Force. That autumn Mäder served briefly as commander of the 7th Panzer Division, again on the northern Russian front. At the end of 1944 he was given command of the elite Führer Grenadier Brigade, a part of Panzerkorps Großdeutschland. He led it through the Ardennes offensive, and when in early 1945 the brigade was expanded to become the Führer Grenadier Division, the promoted General Major Mäder was put in command. The new division saw fighting on the Eastern Front near Stettin, before being forced to retreat southwest to the outskirts of Vienna. Here, during the final battles for the Austrian capital, General Major Mäder was awarded the Swords.The his Knight's Cross on April 18, 1945. Although Mäder had surrendered to U.S. forces, he was handed over to the Soviets, who held him in captivity until 1955. Bundeswehr. In 1956 Mäder joined the Bundeswehr, serving with the rank of Brigadier General and commanded of the Infanterie Schule Hammelburg. His last rank before retirement was General Lieutenant. In 1974 he was arrested and convicted to 2 years imprisonment for money he embezzled in his position in the Bundeswehr, as well as for inconsistencies in his expense reports. It was an accusation which he denied until he died on May 12, 1984 in Constance. Awards: Iron Cross Second Class, First Class, Wound Badge in Silver, Close Combat Clasp in Bronze, Infantry Assault Badge in Silver, Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with Oak Leaves and Swords, Knight's Cross on 3 April 1942 as Major and Commander of the 560th Oak Leaves on 27 August 1944 as Oberst and leader of the Lehr Brigade Nord, Heeresgruppe Waffenschule Nord, and at the same time Combat Commander of Shaolin 143rd Swords on 18 April 1945 as General Major and Commander of the 1st Grenadier Division.